Spinz Vinyl, the vinyl leader.
What is shaking, everybody? Welcome to the Spinz Vinyl Show. It's Tuesday. We got here. It's been fun, man. This has been crazy. So I've been going live every single day starting last Monday, and there were doubters. There were people that said that it couldn't be done, and we're getting it done. So first week in the books, Monday in the books. Here we are on Tuesday. Today's gonna be a fun show, guys. I hope everyone's having a great day. By the way, thanks for being here. Whether you're here live, which you should be, or whether you're watching at some later date, we're here to have some fun. Make some noise in chat. Let me know I'm coming in loud and clear. But so today, guys, Tuesday. In fact, before I even give you the details of what's going down today, because it's gonna be some fun. There's a whole bunch of different stuff going on today in the 2-hour show that we got lined up for you. First things first, and again, I feel compelled to do this because I know we still have a lot of new people coming in. This is the schedule. So the Spinz Vinyl Show. And yes, each day has its own title, its own series. And the reason is I meet with different people regularly. So the programming is like, if you know, like, oh, I'm cool with, I like the Monday shows. I'm not really down with everything else. Then come in Mondays. You know, I'm going to be here every day at 8, every Tuesday at 8, every Wednesday at 8, and Thursday, and then Friday at 6. Your Brain on Vinyl. That's with Chris, the group seeker. That's on Mondays. 2 is For the Record. That's what we're calling tonight's show. And that's really a show where I give you an hour and we talk about whatever. I might show some records. I might have a topic. We might have some new releases I want to get into or whatever. And then we'll have a guest appearance or do an interview. David Nelms. Cheers, baby. What's up? Shout out David Nelms. So that's Tuesday. So Tuesdays, again, that's where I'm going to meet with people. And today it's Chance. Last week it was Felipe. Next week it's going to be somebody else. It's already lined up. In fact, I might as well tell you, next week is going to be WCB from What Can Brown. That's Chris. The What Can Brown Jazz Vinyl channel is going to be here next Tuesday. So that's going to be super fun. So don't miss that. And then tomorrow and every Wednesday is going to be Turntable Tales with Brandon. And you guys, there's a whole playlist of Turntable Tales in the Spinz Vinyl channel. That's fun stuff, man. That's the kind of the stuff I'm going to get into today. Is the kind of stuff that Brandon and I talk about on the weekly. Thursday is Surface Noise. You guys know it. A-side, that's Chance. He'll be here tonight. And then B-side is myself. And I will be on, the B-side is next week. So this Thursday, you're going to get the A-side. And then Fridays is an hour of jazz, and that's leading into the Jazz Bums. What's up, Andy? Thanks for being here, man. So that's leading into the Jazz Bums. And when I say leading into the jazz Bums, I mean quite literally. You don't have to be afraid like, I want to see Jason's show, but I don't want to miss the Jazz Bums. No worries. We're going to take you right in there automatically through the magic of YouTube. You don't have to lift a finger. So that's going to happen on Friday and every Friday. So that's cool. So tonight is cool. We're going to get, for the first time ever, by the way, you're going to get to hear the A-side and the B-side at the same exact time. Where else are you going to get that except right here on the Spinz Vinyl Show? So, and I say that because Concert Buddy, Chance, and I do the Surface Noise gig on Thursdays. He does the I did the B. So I know you guys are just laughing your asses off right now. That was very clever of me. And then we'll get into a game too. So we're going to do a half hour with Chance. You guys get to ask questions. That's why we do it live. You guys get to have, so be thinking about, you know, these are the things I really want to know about Surface Noise, or I really want to know about Chance, or I really want to know about the Vinyl Community Podcast, which a lot of people don't even know about on Spotify and Apple Music. So be ready with those questions. EA Sports likes to say it's in the game, right? Isn't that that's their thing? It's in the game. Well, here you're in the game because we're going to do another Would You Rather for the last half hour of the show, roughly. And it's going to be concert edition, curated just for Concert Buddy. And you guys are going to get to play. I'm going to share the link. So be here for that. I'll share the link. You guys will have access and you're going to get to put your votes in and it's scored. There's a leaderboard. So it's super fun. What else? I think that's all I really need to what we need to do just to kind of tee things up. So look for Concert Buddy at the top of the hour. In the meantime, what I kind of want to get into is, you know, it's funny. Here's how it happened. I'm going to do an unboxing even. So we're going to do a live unboxing right now. And this is from my guy, Brandon, Mr. Hall of Fame. As I mentioned, we do the Wednesday shows here. And our conversations are always very much, it's not at all. It's not about like, oh, this pressing versus that pressing. It's not, talking about, well, this cost me $300 or this came out of a dollar bin or whatever. It's always about music and vinyl as it relates to our, growing up with it and just kind of Dr. Frankenstein. What's up, baby? Welcome. It's always about the music and it's always about the memories and it's always about how that, how memories can, or how music can really kind of unlock things. You hear a song that you haven't heard in decades and suddenly all these memories come flooding back and stuff. So that's what we talk about. It's a lot of like, okay, I was the Michael Jackson guy in middle school or whatever. And, he's talking about wearing hammer pants, so it's just really, really fun. And we get into more of that kind of like cerebral, is that the word? Kind of slant on it. And so we're going to kind of do that today too. So the reason I wanted to do this, he sent me, I guess we'd call it VCLT, guys. He sent me some records and I opened it and I just saw the top record and I'm like, man, I'm already starting to get in my feels. Let's do a show about it. So I haven't looked at anything else. I promise you, I've not looked at anything else. And so we're going to go through this. There's a nice little stack of records here. And just by looking at the top record, I'm going to show it. This is the first one in the box that Brandon sent me. And it's the one that inspired this show this first hour. Is it's Tone Loc, Loked After Dark. And how many people know this? Funky Cool Medina, Wild Thing. Everybody's heard those tunes, even if you're not like a Tone Loc fan. But when I looked at this, I'm going to be honest, the things that, and this is, I don't know if this is the same way that you guys think, or if I'm a weirdo or whatever, but it's like when I see a record, when I think of a record, the tunes aren't the first thing that pop into my head. The first thing that pops into my head is like, where was I when I first heard it? Who was I with? What were the circumstances? And it's kind of like that, a time machine. I just get transported to that moment. And the same thing happened when I saw this. And I'm thinking like, oh, that's so crazy, dude. Wild Thing, Funky Cool Medina. And again, it's more about the memories associated with it, and just kind of like, it just unlocks something in me. Nostalgia, I guess most of us would call it. Cesar, what's up, baby? He's coming at top of the hour. He will be here. But I'm going to give you an hour of nostalgia first. And we're just going to go. I'm doing an unboxing right now, Cesar. So yeah, that's the thing. And the thing and we're going to go through these. But I think what's fun, just immediately when I saw this, is I thought, yeah, Brandon gets it, because we have this show that we do every Wednesday. Like I say, it's a lot of getting in our feelings. It's a lot of history about like where music takes us and vinyl takes us. And when I saw this, I said, man, he just knows me. He just gets me. You know what I mean? Because I know he's thinking Jay's going to have a memory about this and it's going to jog something in him. And I know he's going to get a big smile on his face. So that's the first one, Tone Loc right there. And it does, man. It's probably like middle school when this came out. And it was a lot of like, this was probably later when my early hip hop days are going to be stuff like, well, I'm going to show some of it. It's going to be stuff like Egyptian Lover, which is kind of electro, rap maybe. Early Beastie Boys, License to Ill, but it's going to be stuff like Dougie Fresh and Houdini and all that kind of thing. So he gets it. He knows. All right, let's get to this. Yeah, so here's another one. We talked about Rick James on another episode that we did together. Street Sounds, right? I think that's the one that I showed. I think he mentioned this record, Glow. I've never heard it, but he goes, yeah, his thing is Glow, man. And he had some memories about this. So this is cool, dude. Yeah. So I knew that was going to happen. I think, man, I just know him. He's going to be reaching deep into my memory bank, pulling this stuff out. And there it is, man. That's cool. Rick James, Glow. Thank you, my friend. Can't wait to listen to this, man. I don't know anything about this record. Okay, dude. Okay. I don't have it. So far, I don't have these, dude. I don't have these, Brandon. I don't know if you're watching, if you ever see this, but thank you. Yarrow and Peoples, the two of us with Don't Stop the Music. This is another one that's crazy because when we were showing records on like, R&B and electro funk and soul, this is one he showed. And I was like, oh yeah, dude, Don't Stop the Music is a fire slow jam. Mad Vinyl, don't go anywhere, baby. Don't go anywhere. You're prescient. You're prescient. Only because I have a stack of records I'm going to go through. And I don't know, there might be a UTFO sighting. Let's see. But this is so dope, dude. Yes. So how hard is it? You know what I mean? You're trying to get a gift, even if it's for your significant other. And that's what I'm thinking right now is that, and this is just my like spontaneous thoughts, is like, you try to find something for somebody. I can't tell you how hard it is to shop for my girlfriend, dude. We've been together 8 years. And every year it's like, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas? In the vinyl community, we know what we want. We know what each other wants. Thank you, brother. Dang, dude. Don't stop the music. I love it. Great stuff. This is all going to be that same era. Dude, this is one that's in my freaking Discogs shopping cart. Hell yeah. The Jets. The Jets right there, dude. If you don't know what's happening right now, this is a little VCLT I got from Brandon, my partner on Wednesdays. And I kind of wanted to make a point because I saw the top record, Tone Loc. I knew there was going to be stuff in here and he was going to press my buttons, man. This has Crush on You. You found out. I got a crush on you. Yes, I'm embarrassing myself. But this is killer, dude. Awesome. The Jets. How did these kids, they probably didn't write this stuff, right? They just performed it. But I mean, what a great tune, man. Crush on You. The Jets. Hell yeah. Thank you, brother. Oh, this is cool. Okay. I've heard one Matumi, I guess that's how you pronounce it, album. This is Kiss This World Goodbye. I do not know this one. That is cool. They do the song. Hang on. Maybe someone else will get it before me. They do this one. Here's the one I have. So they do Juicy Fruit. Juicy Fruit. In fact, B.I.G., Notorious B.I.G. sampled it. So that's the one I know. I don't know this one. Kiss This World Goodbye, right? Kiss This World Goodbye. Yeah, Matumi. That's cool. That's cool. It's got to be good if he sent it to me. Oh, yeah. That's cool. Oh, this is cool, too. All right, here's the last one, guys. Oh, yeah. Who knows Bootsy? Bootsy. Vinyl and Kicks. Shout out Vinyl and Kicks. This is so cool, dude. I don't have anything by Bootsy. Funkadelic, right? Bass player. I've seen Bootsy interviewed. He's a cool cat, man. Look at that cover, dude. Yeah, that's slaying out right there, Brandon. That's what I'm talking about. See, that's thoughtful curation right there. That's so cool, man. The Player, Bootsy Baby. That's cool, man. Cool little gatefold there too. Hell yeah, man. Thank you, brother. I don't know if you're here to watch this, but I'll see you tomorrow, man. I'll thank you again. Yeah, breaking out the jams, dude. So that was it. You know, it was just a 5 or 6 records, whatever that was from Brandon, little VCLT, man. But I guess the point I was trying to make is just, Brandon and I know enough about each other that when he's sending me records, like, it's going to be stuff that is going to be, it's not about the record. It's not about like, I don't know, the value or anything like that. It doesn't matter. Even the condition doesn't matter. It's he's sending me stuff that he knows is going to get me in my feels, he knows, because that's what we talk about every Wednesday. So, I don't know, Fire. Let me see. I mean, seems like it. This is 1978. I mean, it's got the inner sleeve here. Yeah, I think that's got to be an OG, I would imagine. Yeah, I don't know. That's cool, man. That's really cool. That's hella cool. I will be spinning these momentarily. Thursday's my day off because Chance has the A side, so I will be spinning those for sure. That was cool, man. That was cool. So yeah, I mean, that was the point I was trying to make, is just like the sort of the theme today is just, why do we listen to music? Why does this stuff matter? People like us that are buying vinyl and want to listen to the stuff on vinyl and just, and I talked to a lot of different kind of people. There's people that aren't so sentimental about music, or they're not so, it's not about the nostalgia. And sometimes nostalgia can even be a dirty word, I think, for some people. But it's more like, oh, well, this has a great, rhythm section on it, or has a great, lead guitar on it, or whatever. And that's fine, or it just sounds great. Like the recording is so good. And it's like, I totally get it. I get all that. But that's not where it starts for me. Where it starts for me is really, and a lot of these records that I have behind me are just like hundreds of memories. When I pick up a record, and I'll just go through some. I got a whole stack right here. And they're in no particular order, but I'm just going to tell you why I like these. And maybe you guys can kind of identify with that. I think we all, just like a fingerprint, we all have a different kind of history of vinyl or records or music that kind of makes us who we are, right? Makes us kind of like the things that we like now. And they're kind of things like, when I want to feel happy, let's go to this record. Or if I want to, if I'm feeling sad, I'll go to this record. When I want to jam out and sing and dance, if no one's around watching, I might pull this record, so that's the way I look at it. Let's see. Yeah. So I kind of wanted to say is, a way to kind of break into this is, there's kind of like the hard statistics, right? And with music, what do we have? We got rhythm, harmony, melody. Some people would get into like, timbre, dynamics, tempo, et cetera, et cetera. These are like you could look at this as like the statistics, like on the back of a baseball card, right? These are the things we can kind of measure, and it's going to be that thing for everybody. This is 120 beats per minute. You can't, that is what it is. It has this kind of rhythm, or it's in 4/4, or it's in this or that or whatever. And you could do the same with vinyl. You could say vinyl has certain elements, like people will say it sounds warm. That's an element of vinyl. We know that it has a certain dynamic range. We know that depending on how much music is squeezed onto it, might impact the overall sound of it. We know there's limitations. We know we get a big art, 12 by 12 art on the front of it. So all these things are characteristics of vinyl. I'm not going to get into any of that today. I want to get into the stuff that doesn't show up on the back of the baseball card. It kind of reminds me of Tim Lincecum, anyone that knows. And don't worry, I'll wrap this up and we'll get to the records. But Tim Lincecum's a perfect example. He was a pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. I grew up in the Bay Area, starting in the 2000s, and helped the Giants get to 3 World Series. That's on the back of the baseball card. It has 2 Cy Youngs, threw 2 no-hitters. It goes on and on. But there's a lot of things that if you just look at that, you wouldn't know about Tim Lincecum unless you followed him, unless you went to the games, like his long hair. He was the one guy with like the long flowing hair everywhere and walking on his hands to the pitcher's mound, dropping F-bombs on live TV. These are all characteristics that don't show up, but those are the things we remember about Tim. Of course he did some great things, but those that love him and experience those years, think of all the other stuff that make him who it is. Same thing with music for me. So let's talk about the stuff that doesn't make it to the back of the baseball card. These are people that may be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They may never make it. Doesn't matter. It's not about that. These are about just memories for me. And this one is Adam Ant. And so when I was in high school, probably like 10th grade or something like that, I came across a VHS tape at a Blockbuster Video, and it was Adam Ant. And I just saw this dude, and I was like, I have to know what that sounds like. I just have to know what that sounds like. So I picked it up. It was called the Prince Charming Review. I've shown it on my channel. It's the one thing I still have from like 1988. It's crazy. The receipt is there and everything, with my mom's name on it and everything, because she got it on her account. But Adam Ant, man, he's just one of these guys that, when he came out with the record, another record that a lot of people will have heard, like Goody Two Shoes or something like that, popular. But man, I just loved Adam Ant, and he's someone that, again, I would watch that video over and over and over until I made my mom buy it for me. And it was just the whole look, right? It was the face paint, it was the clothes, it was the dancing, it was how that went with the music and stuff. Marco, who played guitar for him, who was, I believe, with the Sex Pistols at some point. But yeah, it was all of that. And then you kind of get more into it, but that's kind of how I discovered him. You know, when I was singing all the tunes, my mom would sing all the tunes because I'd play that tape so much. But yeah, Adam Ant's one of those guys. It's like because of when I discovered, if I discovered him now, I may not like this music. I might think it's kind of cheeky or it's kind of like, it's whatever. But because I discovered him then and what was going on in my life at that time, my girlfriend or, problems I was having in class or whatever, it just means so much to me now. It's like I can listen, and I got to see Adam Ant last year. I saw him perform live at 70 years old, and it was really cool. It was kind of a full circle moment. Rob Talker, Tim Lincecum threw a no-hitter after smoking a joint. Fact. Those are facts. Those are facts. A's over the Giants, says Vinyl and Kicks. I feel you. A's, Oakland A's, no longer a thing. Very unfortunate. So here's another one, man. What's interesting about this is, yeah, thanks, Vinyl. So is it Prince Charming or Dirk wears white socks? I think those are the first two. This is a record that my girlfriend bought me back in probably one of the last records before I started kind of getting CDs, and I really just kind of sold everything off to Amoeba Records in Berkeley and started from scratch. Yes, a lot of us did that, back in the day, back in like 91 or whatever for me. But she bought me this for my birthday because she knew I would like it. And I went and saw the B-52s live during this time. And that was super. In fact, I saw them back-to-back nights because I took my girlfriend one day, and then another venue, I took my cousin because I wanted to see him twice. So that was fun. But yeah, this is a cosmic thing, right? The B-52s. And this is cool because I was heavily into the B-52s and still am. I think they're very underrated. A lot of people will know this, right? Love Shack. It's one of those tunes that kind of happens to a band where it almost is detrimental to them because it becomes so popular. But B-52s before this put out a handful of fantastic records. But this was kind of the last swan song for me at that first kind of era when CDs were coming in. And it's probably one of the last records that I really got during that time. So yeah, it reminds me of that. Reminds me of, my girlfriend at the time, and just kind of getting this record was cool. And I freaking love it. It's great. So these are in no particular order. A few years before that. So here's The Cure, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. And this was my friend Gabriel Martinez. If you're out there, Gabe, shout out. In middle school. And he had this cassette tape, and it was like, I heard it and I was just like, holy crap, what is that, dude? And yeah, we saw The Cure a little bit on MTV and stuff, but this was kind of the one when this came out, for me at least, hear the whole thing from cover to cover, and was just blown away and was like, I'm a Cure fan now. And in fact, for the Disintegration tour, he and I went to this Disintegration tour in I think 89 and had a fantastic time. It was a great show in the Bay Area in California. But so this is kind of where it started, though. Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. And my love for The Cure, even now, in fact, just kind of finishing off probably for the third time, an OG collection of The Cure. I just picked up like 17 Seconds, I think, a couple weeks ago. So just kind of get that closed out. But so, yeah, so here we are 35 years later, and I'm still buying Cure records. Just crazy how that works, right? But yeah, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me was really the first one, man. Fire Love Shack. With vinyl, it's a connection to the music reproduction system and the process of playing the record. It's not just plug and play, David. Agreed. It's like there's a whole ritual involved. And, it's weird because I know people that are heavy into vinyl, have way more records than I do, and buy a lot of the reissues and spend a ton of money and stuff, who cannot have a tick. I don't want to pop. I don't want to click. If it comes with a pop and a click, I'm going to return it. I'm not mentioning any names. Back in the day, we didn't care. Honestly, I had records that skipped. I still have records that when I hear them today, I'm used to hearing the skip, and the skip's not there. And it's kind of weird. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the little surface noise. Look, I mean, I try to buy everything VG plus or better because I don't want to, I'm not a savage. But I do, it's okay, that kind of, it lets you know you're listening to something physical, and it's the way we experienced it then. That was part of it. The Cure, one of the greatest bands ever. Vinyl and Cure, speaking my language. I make that argument. They're very underrated. They have one of the best catalogs. No stinkers up, I say up until Wish, personally. But again, I was an adult after that. So, I can't be trusted. But, up until Wish, I mean, every album is packed full. It's so phenomenal. Okay, here's another one, Depeche Mode. And actually there's two. So this was the first one, actually, Violator. I saw the Violator tour. I went to that tour also with my good friend Gabriel Martinez, who introduced me to the Cure. And we went and saw the Violator tour. I would watch the 101 VHS that they did from the tour that they did in Pasadena. With the one where the group of kids follow them and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's a great video called 101. But this is Violator. This was the first record I think they really broke into the mainstream. Enjoy the Silence, Policy, or Personal Jesus. And it's phenomenal. And again, for me, it really represents, again, this is another one that's kind of at the end of those vinyl years. And you guys know, you try to buy like OGs in the 90s and the 2000s, they are pricey of most vinyl. But and so this one came out in like 89 or something probably. So it's right at that tail end again. And it's phenomenal. It's great. I was already kind of listening to Music for the Masses because of that. That's really the record that's being covered on the 101 video. And so when this came out, it was like, it's like when your favorite band puts out a new album. And that's exactly what this record was for me. It was like, oh yes, they have a new album. And it was all over MTV. And it was just fire from cover to cover. Anyway, Violator. And then the next one, and this would have been, I don't know, a couple years later or whenever it was, Songs of Faith and Devotion. And I've said before, like Violator, it depends on what kind of listener you are, and of Depeche Mode. But I mean, I would say for the most part, that's going to be their big record. And you think, well, how are they going to top that or equal it? And I contend that they did with this. Songs of Faith and Devotion is so freaking good. And the last two songs on the record, I should have had this flipped the right way, are going to be One Caress and Higher Love. I can just listen to those, and sometimes I will. I'll just put on those two songs, and it will tell me everything it'll give me everything I needed. It'll take me right to that moment when this record came out. I'll probably get a little teary-eyed, and it's fantastic. It's just fantastic. So, but again, it's so much more about the memories. Even Depeche Mode's new album is legit. Yeah, man, they put out, even when they call it a bad album, for them, it's still a fire album. There's going to be something on there that's going to be very Depeche Mode and sound great, and probably multiple things. They just keep going. This one's kind of cool. So first year in high school, this is Dirty Rotten Imbeciles, DRI. And this one is called Dealing With It. And this is the only one I've really ever heard. This record, the cassette tape, I met a kid in high school, first year of high school. And he handed me a couple records. One was like a Police record. I don't even remember which one it was, a cassette. And the other one was this. He was really into thrash. He was into like, I'm not going to remember all the bands and stuff, but a lot of that. He had posters of like metal and all. And I wasn't really into that stuff. But so he hands me this DRI record, which is like punk thrash, I guess. Elements of punk, elements of metal, a small, group and stuff. And mostly probably like the shortest song on here is probably like 30 seconds or something. It's insane. It has like over 20 tunes on it. If you guys know, you know. And it's so damn cool. It's just that, fast lyrics and like fast guitar and fast drumming and stuff. But it's kind of humorous. It's kind of funny. It's very intelligent, very kind of, the lyrics are very kind of current and, stuff about Reaganomics on here and stuff, political, but not in a, I don't know. It's not overbearing. It's just part of the music and it's just fun. This is great. This is so great. And again, I don't know what I would think of this now. I love it because freshman in high school, guy hands me the tape and I put this on. Never heard anything like it. And I was just like, holy crap. I love this now. I love this now. So Cessor has all the DM OGs. Hell yeah, dude. I do not claim to have all the OGs. Some UK, some US. US sound really good, sometimes better than the UK. Cool. Vinyl and Kicks, DRI, classic thrash crossover. Yeah, I just love it. And I can't even look at this without getting a big smile on my face, man. Dealing with it. It's fantastic. If you like thrash or metal and you haven't heard this, go check it out. You're going to fall in love. Still love that DRI album. Yes, yes, yes. I do too. I got to be in the mood. I got to be in the right mood because it's going to come at you fast. But it's awesome. Why did I pull this record? You know, middle school, Duran Duran, Rio. I was not a Durani, what they used to call Duran Duran heads back in the day, but my girlfriend, my first girlfriend, because I'm talking middle school, I don't even think we ever held hands, but she loved Duran Duran. All the girls in our class did. They loved Prince, they loved Duran Duran, and they loved Madonna, because this is going back to mid 80s. And Rio was a big one. When I see this, I think about her. And I love Duran Duran now. It took me a long time to come around on it. You know, sometimes you hear stuff at certain periods in your time in your life, and it's like, oh man, no, I can't deal with that. But this is a fantastic album. Now I can appreciate it. I love it. It's got so much great stuff on it. Even the stuff that's not that, you know, their hits or their fire tracks, like they might seem like B-sides or whatever. They're really, really good. And Duran Duran had a lot more talent, I think, than a lot of people give them credit for as songwriters, as musicians. And this is, to me, their best record. And I have a few of them, but this one's fantastic. Rio, great album, says AA. It's like the Car self-titled, so many greats. Yes, yes, yes. Great Duran Duran album, says Wyoming Dave. I knew you would love it, Wyoming Dave. I knew you would. Here's another one. In fact, this takes me full circle too. I just saw the English Beat. I think I saw last year, went to 2 shows. I had not been to a show since before the pandemic, but I saw Adamant, and then I saw English Beat. Oh no, what am I saying? They both opened at the same. They played together. That's right. It was Adamant and the English Beat. I'm faded. It was Adamant and the English Beat. How's that for a double bill? No more. As Dave Wakeling, of course, leading the band. No Ranking Roger, of course. He passed away a few years ago, unfortunately. But they played all the hits. I cannot look at this cover without thinking about high school. It was this kind of stuff, and it was Madness that started getting me into ska music. And then it was like the Selector and, you know, all the other guys I'm not gonna be able to think of right now. The Specials, the Specials, yeah, and stuff like that. But yeah, it kind of started right here with the English Beat, who I would call like pop ska. That's kind of what I call Madness too. But this is such a great album. I think this is their best one, but all 3 of them are very, very good. And they even came out with a compilation that covers the best tracks off all 3 albums. But English Beat, I'm so glad I got to see them. And yeah, I just can't stop it. Just a fantastic record. And again, just takes me back to high school, man. Just look at that. My first car, I got the English Beat sticker. I think it was this girl right here. If you guys can see that, if I can point that out. Anyway, sorry, it's blurry, but I had that sticker on my car. So I love the English Beat, man. Cesar does not know who Duran Duran is. Cesar, you have a homework assignment. Rio tonight. All right. So this one will take me way back. My parents got divorced. I was probably 5, 6 years old. So I lived with my mom, only child. She did her best to take care of us. We didn't have a lot of money at all. we kept the rent paid, food on the table, even if it was saltine and peanut butter crackers. You know, every kind of rice-a-roni and noodle-roni you could think of, she got creative with it. But she loved music, and a lot of the stuff that I got from her, or stuff that I love now, is stuff that I got during that time with her. I was very fortunate enough as a young kid, 9 years old, a young lad, to get an Atari 2600. And I played the hell out of that thing, man, from Space Invaders to Missile Command to Pac-Man to Defender. Loved it. All us kids did back then. But this is one of the things that she would listen to a lot. And I know people have different feelings of that. It's funny because, you know, I know a lot of people love Fleetwood Mac Rumors. It's one of the great albums of all time. It was recorded impeccably. It sounds phenomenal. It's got tons of great hits on it. But because of that, you have people that really are the other side of it. They don't like the popular vote, right? They're not, I can't go in for Rumors. My guy Chris doesn't even own a copy of Rumors. I don't get it. But for me, it's not about how many times we've heard this on some commercial somewhere, or that it got played out in at Target or whatever you want to say. Every time I see it and every time I hear it, it takes me back to being 9 years old. Nothing can erase that. I'm sitting down, mom's in the kitchen making some Kool-Aid or something, and I'm sitting on the floor in front of the TV playing Pac-Man, and this is on the turntable, either this or Journey. And for that reason, again, a lot of this has to do with age, right? It's like, this is the era I grew up in. And as we get older, I think for some of us, many of us, who knows, you start to really kind of cherish that stuff, from back in the day. And it almost means more to you. And this album means a lot to me. When you have stuff that identifies you with people that are no longer with us, it can be a memory about those people and stuff. And just, and that's the point I'm trying to make. It's just more than the music. So Fleetwood Mac, Rumors, big one for me. There's another one that was on the turntable all the time. Again, another one that a lot of people are going to go yawn. But for me, it's about, my mom, me and being with my mom and getting in to middle school and stuff. And that's Foreigner 4. Tons of hits on here. Nightlife, Jukebox Hero, Break It Up, Waiting for a Girl Like You. I mean, lots of hits. And again, if I didn't hear this until I was 40, who knows what I would have thought. But I heard this when I was like 12. And it was the background, the soundtrack to what was going on. It was the soundtrack to coming back from the movies after seeing Raiders of the Lost Ark or Top Gun or E.T. or Empire Strikes Back or whatever. And you come home and then this is playing. And it just it gets fused with all that stuff. And then 40 years later, you're just like, oh man, Foreigner 4, And again, there's just nothing that can spoil it for me. I won't let it, Thank you, Merton. Yes, hit that like button, everyone. In fact, that's a good time to do this. Oops, is that even going to show? It froze. There we go. Yeah, hit like, hit subscribe, guys. I appreciate it. We're live every single day. I'm trying to be here for you every single day. You don't even have to make it as simple as possible. 8 p.m., you just know I'm going to be here Monday through Thursday. So you can come in, pop in if you feel like it. Thursdays at 6 p.m. Rumors is a great album. Every song is just overplayed. Yeah, I get it. Same with Journey. Same with Foreigner. And and I've had that. I had that with Chris, where he goes, "I can't. If I have to hear, I can't. Don't Stop Believing one more time, I'm going to lose my mind." And I said, "I get it. I won't let that happen because it just means too much. I tune it out, kind of a thing. You know what I mean?" Rumor, solid album, but when I want to hear FM, I always go back to the early stuff. Yeah, they're bluesy stuff, man. It's great. You can go deep on Fleetwood Mac. I'm a pop guy. I hate to admit it. I do like, the early stuff. I like their bluesy stuff, and and other stuff that's not pop from other bands. But look, I grew up in the pop era, man. I grew up in MTV land. I was there day one watching Video Killed the Radio Star. So it's like, I can't help it. Foreigner, I like their songs as a little kid, but as an adult, I do not enjoy. Gotcha, Violent Kicks. Foreigner, yeah, I gotcha. Okay, here's one. A lot of these are going to be just you're going to think I'm just towing the company line, but this is what we grew up with. You know what I mean? I'm not here today to show you like deep cuts and stuff and whatever. I'm just here to show you honestly the stuff that just really kind of made me the music lover I am today, because I grew up with it. And when we didn't even have a choice and we just listened to what other people were listening to, this is the stuff that was on. Hall & Oates, Rock and Soul Part 1, packed with hits. I mean, just Sarah Smile and She's Gone and Rich Girl. Yes, the early ones. But Kiss on My List, You Make My Dreams Come True, Private Eyes, I Can't Go For That, Man Eater, One on One. I mean, Adult Education. Not a stinker in the group. I get it. I know this is kind of a greatest hits kind of deal, but man, they're so freaking good. I would roll down the windows in my car. I still contend, dude, I could have been a singer. I really could have. I know everyone thinks that. I could have been a singer. Not anymore. But dude, I would keep up with Daryl Hall all day long, man. He is he's one of the great vocalists of the 80s. He is. These are fantastic. He's a great vocalist. I put him right up there with like Steve Perry and other George Michael, who I think in terms of male vocalists from this era, I put those guys all right there. Fantastic album. I love it. This is stuff that was on the radio constantly. All the adults liked this too, you know? So when I was a kid, yeah, Daryl Hall and John Oates, man, great stuff. Hall & Oates, one of the first bands I collected and would always look for in record stores. Love it, AA. I can always enjoy some Hall & Oates. Yes, see? You guys are speaking my language. Man, I got to speed up. We got Chance coming on in 20 minutes. Chance coming on in 20 minutes. I got a lot of records here. I said Journey. These were the two that we had. The Atari 2600. You had your boy playing, killing everybody at Missile Command and Space Invaders. And then you had Moms spinning these records right here. I freaking love this stuff. I talk to a lot of people that don't love it. I know it's not for everyone. I get it. It's for me, you know, and when you love something, you just feel fortunate that you got it when you got it and it's sunk in and you love it. There's stuff that other people will say they really love that I don't identify with it because I just didn't grow up with. People want to know, why don't you like Dylan? Why don't you like, you know, Kiss and these kinds of things? I do. Kiss is okay, but I wasn't there for it. You know, it's like you can't listen to everything. This is so great. I know it's Don't Stop Believing. I talked about Tim Lincecum on the Giants. They play Don't Stop Believing every freaking game they win. I don't care. I won't let that spoil my fun. This is my favorite Journey album. This is Infinity. It has stuff like La Doo Da, Open the Door, Feeling That Way, Wheel in the Sky. I used to make fun of Lights to my mom. She would play this. Do I want to be there in my city? Whoa, whoa. And I would sing, do I want to be there in my city? Heck no, because I thought I was funny. She would laugh. But anyway, Journey, forever and all time. Play it at my funeral. You know, I just love it. I just love it. David Nelms can't go for that when it comes to Hall & Oates, man. I get it. I get it. The first time I ever heard a song that was, I would say, kind of new wave. You know, everyone I was with was playing the rock. If I was at home, I was Grateful Dead with my parents, and then it got to be like my parents split up, and then it was, like I said, it was Journey, it was Fleetwood Mac, it was Foreigner, and then we get in the car one day, and a song comes on, and I'm like, whoa, what is this? And it was Cars right here. Gary Newman, The Pleasure Principle came on, and I never heard anything like that before. The keyboards, the synthesizers, I was like, whoa. And to this day, it takes me back to like being in the Volkswagen. The first time I ever heard it, it just comes on the radio. My mom's ready to change it because she's not, you know, she can't go for that. And I'm like, no, don't change it. And this kind of started my love affair with this kind of, you know, new wave, modern rock. You know, we called it modern rock back in the day, but like, you know, post-punk and stuff. Man. And I never heard anything else by him at the time, but Cars was a massive hit, and I still love it. And yeah, that's it. There's no punchline, but it's just another tune that takes me back that I can't. It's beyond being objective about it. You know what I mean? Like it's in my DNA, like all this stuff is. All right. So I'm in high school, 10th grade. My first serious girlfriend. If you're out there, you might know, you know who you are. I won't mention any names, but, 2 long cassette tapes. These are double LPs. They came out. You guys remember like the cassette tapes that were like slow playing and they had way more music on them and stuff. These 2 were those things. Summer school, 10th grade. We both went. It was Kudos granola bars. I don't remember what we drank. And then it was 2 cassette tapes that I probably stole from her. One was Louder Than Bombs, The Smiths. Had never heard The Smiths before. She was, in fact, in 10th grade, I got into new wave so hard, you know, post-punk, whatever you want to call it, hardcore because of her. Because she would listen to like Alternate Images, The Clash, and she had the records, man. I would go over there and we'd play records and stuff. This was on cassette tape, The Smiths, Louder Than Bombs. Love it to this day. It's a greatest hits basically on 2 LP, nothing but fire. Love this freaking album, dude. And so a lot of the stuff too, I grew up with on cassette, or just listening to it on MTV, and it's kind of fun to own the vinyl now. So that's one I had to pick up. Loving all the Japanese presses too. Thanks, David Nelms. Yeah, lots of Japanese pressings in my collection. Oh, and the other one too, the other cassette that she lent to me was New Order Substance. And again, wasn't a big New Order person until I heard this. This was really the first one. And those 2 cassette tapes, I just played them until they got worn out. I had a Walkman, probably listened to it, constantly walking to school and back on, lunch break or whatever, was always listening to the Walkman with these 2 records. Learned the lyrics to every one of the songs on both the Smiths album and this New Order album. And again, having it on wax is fun. This is the original UK, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I just love this thing. And takes me back 10th grade, summer school. There had to be something good about summer school. At least it was the music. You got to get something. Okay. Susie and the Banshees, that same era, the same girlfriend. In fact, here's kind of a funny story. I guess this record was out already. This is Peep Show, and this has got Peekaboo on it. And this is, I want to say this is when, Susie was just kind of getting into like the mainstream a little more, just like a lot of bands were. The Cure and Depeche Mode were everyone was kind of making their albums that were really breakout albums. And this was kind of one like that. She bought tickets to go see Susie. And I was so stoked. We're going to go see Susie. This is 1988, something like that. Oh, I'm going to go see Susie. Unfortunately, we broke up before the show. Don't ask me why your boy didn't have better timing than that, but that's what happened. 88 or 89, whatever it was. I did not see Susie, but I have my memories. I have Peep Show, great album. I have all of the Susie stuff now. I love it. I try to get it all in OG because she's just one right there with the Cure and Depeche, and well, especially the Cure. The Bauhaus and stuff. Just, I love all that stuff. And boom, Susie. Japanese, Anthony says Japanese presses are great. I'm Australian, and there are a lot of Japanese presses here now, all in great condition. Yes, that's kind of their claim to fame, is that they're so oftentimes just so well taken care of and in fantastic condition. They sound great, low noise floor, all of that. The big complaint, I guess, by people is that they think that it doesn't have enough bottom end, that they have a lot of top end, but not enough in the bass range. I don't see that as a problem. I don't think it's true oftentimes. On the occasions when it is true, guess what? I'll reach for the bass knob and I turn it up a little bit, and it seems to work. So yeah, I don't see that as a problem. I know a lot of people will make that argument, but yes, always in great condition, great value. I know they're pricey because the shipping's pricey. Get yourself a bundle. Go buy, if you're going to get some Japanese, or buy them for me. What am I saying? I sell all Japanese pressings on the weekends. For those that don't know, this is not a plug, but you brought it up. On Whatnot. In fact, all these pressings, including some Obi strips, are all available in my Whatnot store, and I sell live auctions on Saturday and Sunday, and I'm not afraid to tell you that. Okay, mostly all Japanese. Talking Heads, Speaking in Tongues. I told the story before, I'll tell it again. This was plugged into the CD player in my car. First went to college, and this was the one, dude. It was this. I also was really into the Orb when it came to electronic music. I was kind of getting into electronic music during that time in the early 90s when it first started kind of getting some legs. But this was one, man, Speaking in Tongues. And by the way, Chance is going to join us in 12 minutes. So don't go anywhere. If you hear from Chance, don't go anywhere. He will be here. But this is one where, and it's funny story is I had the CD, I had a junky car. It was a Hyundai Excel back probably one of the first years they made them. I couldn't afford a car. I mean, I was broke as a joke, but I got one out of a junkyard or something, replaced what had to be replaced. There was no fender on it. I got a silver fender for a white car. I literally spray painted it white so it looked kind of like it went, but it was my first car. And I'm pulling out of a parking spot at the junior college one day, and I see this cute girl standing there, like waiting for me to back out. And I kind of roll down the window. I'm kind of looking at her like, hey, what's up, baby? Crank up this. That's just funny to me, dude. Here I'm cranking Talking Heads like I'm the shit, right? And she just looks at me like, bro, you are a tool. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, we never saw each other again. Thank God. But anyway, I thought I was a badass. Here we go. Talking Heads. The CD was plugged in, locked in on the car CD player. Back in 1984, this record comes out. Van Halen 1984, my favorite rock album of the 80s. Freaking love it. First time I heard this, I heard Panama. Again, summer school. This was like middle school or maybe just getting into middle school. And one of the assignments was do a commercial, do a telephone commercial. They brought in like a big old, VHS cam recorder or whatever, camcorder. And we had to sit down and kind of figure out, what do we want our commercial to be out? And our commercial was totally lame, but two kids did one about being in a radio station. And they played Panama. So it'd be like, hey guys, welcome back to K blah, blah, blah. And then like, here's Van Halen. And they cranked it up and it was Panama. And I was like, whoa, blown away, dude. I was like, that is really cool. I have to hear more of that. And of course, we got more of it because we got Jump on MTV 10 times a day and stuff. But that's what this record reminds me of. Summer school, middle school. I love it. I still say it's the best rock album of all, from the 80s and just packed with great stuff. Okay, 7th grade. I think our turntable was broken. I probably broke the stylus on it or something, but I had to have a record and my neighbor had a turntable. So I got the 7-inch of Freakazoid, and this is Midnight Star. So Freakazoid, No Parking on the Dance Floor by Midnight Star right there. If you were there, you had to break out the cardboard. You put the white gloves on. You tried to pretend like you knew what you were doing. You tried to do some backspins. You probably hurt yourself. Yeah, man, it was all popping and breakdancing. And Midnight Star was one of the ones that made it into the boombox every single time with Freakazoid or No Parking on the Dance Floor. Still love it. Look at that ring wear, baby. It's a beautiful thing. 84 with the hype. Yes, took me a long time to get that. I had to swap like 3 different 1984s to get to that. I'll be your Freakazoid. Come on and wind me up, YM Dave. Yep, for damn sure. Vanity 6. Still love Nasty Girl. What a beat. Prince, of course, performing all the instruments and writing these tunes, and wrote a great one for Vanity 6 called Nasty Girl. What a beat. It is the shit. Vanity 6 came on the radio. We were going to the winter ball. It was me and my current girlfriend. This would have been 9th grade, I think. And her mom is driving us. And this song comes on. And if you know some of the lyrics to this, it's a little nasty, right? And she's going, oh, mom, this is that song I was telling you about. This is that song. So we're sitting in the parking lot at school right before going into the dance, listening to this. And I'm sure her mom was like, oh, my word. But anyway, it was I was shy. That was a hard dance to go to, man. I was wearing floods with white socks showing with a blue sweater with a giant snowflake on it. Whew, the pictures are priceless. And I didn't like being on the dance floor trying to dance. It was scary. But this song was the shit. And so we still love it. I'm going to skip that. No, I'm not. Because then you guys will be tortured for the rest of the night. Chic. Good Times. Love that song. It's fantastic. It was kind of, again, this is another one that was kind of the soundtrack to my life when it came out in the early days. Love this stuff. Chic. A lot of great stuff. Chic went on, the guy in Chic, what's his name? Nile Rodgers went on to help Madonna write some great hits. But Good Times. Love it. Good Times is Good Times. I said it a million times before, Thriller. I was the guy in middle school. I made kids in my class learn the Thriller dance so we could embarrass ourselves in the driveway for people. I'd watch it every hour on the hour when it first came out on MTV, the video. Then they came out with the making of Thriller. I think I recorded it on a VHS tape because there was no other way to get it, and stuff. And so everything was MJ. Everything was MJ. Wallpapered with posters and 8x10s out of magazines. And I had the dolls. I had the trading cards. I had it all. I had a white glove. MJ, Thriller. Count Basie, chairman of the board. This has got Blues and Haas's Flat. So I'm not going to get into why I love Basie. If you watch the show, you know why. But Blues and Haas's Flat is an interesting song because growing up in the Bay Area, there was a guy who had a jazz radio show on the weekends. His name was Jazzbo Collins was his last name. I forget his first name, but anyway, Jazzbo. And he'd play jazz and big band music and stuff every weekend. And his theme song, he had 2. One was Purple Grotto, which was kind of a goofy song or whatever. And the other one was Blues and Haas Flat. He would play it every day. And this is the first song that really got me asking questions to people like my father is like, what is that? Where do I find more of it? Like, because I just didn't know. He's like, oh, that's Count Basie, And anyway, the rest is history. I love jazz. Got hundreds of jazz albums to this day. It kind of started right here. Somebody asked, hey, are we going to see any UTFO? And you know I'm going to bring the UTFO. Leader of the pack, beats and rhymes, but most importantly, Roxanne. And we would play the hell out of this thing. This is early hip hop for me, man. This is the early days. And UTFO, just fantastic. Again, I don't know what people who grow up with modern hip hop would think. You know, even if you started with Eminem and you go back and listen to it, are you still into it? I don't know. And that's why I feel fortunate that I was there for it. UTFO, I got a couple more. Houdini Escape. Fantastic. This has 5 minutes of funk. The Freaks Come Out at Night. Friends. How many of us have them? Ones you can depend on. Houdini Escape. Had this locked into the cassette player back in the day. I'm jamming because 5 minutes from now, we got Chance coming on. So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. The concert buddy himself. 2 songs. The Show. Boom. Right there. And then Lottie Dottie. Dougie Fresh. All us kids were singing it. We all thought we could rap. We all thought we knew what rap was at the time, what it was. The original human beatbox. If you know, you know. Just means a lot, man. Again, and this is after like 40 years of not hearing this and then buying the record last year and dropping the needle on it and just being transported. And that's what I'm talking about today is like, it just transported me to being like a 12-year-old kid again, or 13 or whatever. Again, it goes beyond criticism. Like it's not even about the music at that point. It's just about like what it unlocks in you when you hear it. And this is one of those records for me. 3 records. I've said this before too. There was a crate in the closet under the stairs where Harry Potter used to live in our house. And there was a crate of records in there. 3 records stand out to me that I have to this day. That would have been, I don't know, 25 years ago, something like that. And there was 3 records in there. One was a band that I'd heard of called the Beatles, and it was Sgt. Pepper's, and I'd never heard it. And it was sitting there. My dad came over one day to visit and was like, oh, you got some records there. He's like, you got Sgt. Pepper's. He's like, have you listened to that? I go, nah, I haven't listened to it yet. He goes, put it on. So I put it on, and we literally sat there in my room, and I had a turntable at that time again. And we just listened to it in silence. As I just listened to side 1, we didn't say a word to each other. I flipped it over. I listened to side 2. Keep in mind, it's the first time I'm hearing it. Side 2 ends with that massive chord, right? At the end of A Day in the Life. And, you know, the tone arm returns. And it took probably like 2 minutes for me to even say anything. I was just like, that might be the greatest thing I've ever heard. And it was, it was just such an experience and so fun to have that experience with him who had heard this thing, since it came out. But Sgt. Pepper's, great album, great memories. 2 more records were in that crate. This right here, this is obviously Velvet Underground and Nico. And this was an interesting experience hearing this for the time. What I heard was a lot of the post-punk stuff that I had listened to since growing up. I was hearing it in this record, and I was thinking, wow, what kind of an influential album this must have been. Because, again, I was just picking up a lot of that. I was picking up Susie and the Banshees. I was picking up just a lot of different stuff from the post-punk era. And so that was really a cool experience to hear this during that time. So a record I still love. And it started a massive love affair for me with this guy right here, Frank Zappa. And this was the record that was under, in the crate, under the stairs, Chunga's Revenge. Just a wild record, man. Transylvania Boogie to like Road Ladies, 20 Small Cigars, the Nancy and Mary music, and to weird stuff like crooning vocalists to like deep, funky guitar riffs and stuff. Man, this was the one that started it all. And now I've got just about all the Zappa you could want right there within arm's reach because of this. So 2 last ones, because we got somebody who's going to join us momentarily. Perfect timing. We got through these. My boy's here, ready to go on. Grateful Dead. I was born to it. I may have been conceived to it, ladies and gentlemen. Who knows? But I can see that when I came home from the hospital that very first day, maybe I was a day old or less. This was on the turntable, and it already got into your boy's ears. And now 50 some odd years later, we're still rocking it. 2 live Grateful Dead albums. Again, I can't be objective about it. It's just in my DNA. Folks, I hope you enjoyed that. He's here, the man himself, from the great Concert Buddy channel. You know him from there. You know him from Surface Noise, the pioneer of Surface Noise and bringing community back to the vinyl community. You know him from Vinyl Community Podcast, or maybe you don't. And if you don't, you should. You should. I got to make one little change here before we bring my guy on. I got to switch cameras. Boom, just like that. You know him. You love him. The man himself, Concert Buddy. Sorry, I'm vamping because I got to get everything straightened away. Here we go. Boom, the overlay's there. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Spinz Vinyl channel, Chance. What's up, baby?
What's up, man? That was a great introduction. You didn't shout out my haters though. I always like to call the Bleach Boys because if you got them appreciators, you got to have them haters too. So I know they're watching. I've already taken out some trash this evening. How's it going, all my haters?
That's how you know you made it, dude. That's how you know you made it. You know what I mean? It's like
that's how you know how to get a restraining order on somebody. That's how.
Oh man.
So what's going on? I've been watching some VCLT. Brandon saying some VCLT.
Yeah, man. I was just talking about, just how, it's funny. Like sometimes it's difficult to know what to get that, special person in your life. And I was talking about how difficult it is even for me to get my girlfriend something for her birthday. Sure. And yet when it comes to wax, we all know what it is, right? It's like, and he just hit me with, 5 or 6 fantastic albums that are way more about, the history behind them and what was going on in my life at the time those records came out, because that's all the stuff we talk about on Wednesdays anyway. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna let you. It was cool. Spinz, I'm gonna let you in a little secret. Now, I know Brandon for years. Brandon literally is less than 5 minutes from me right now. I think. If he's at home, and I'm gonna tell you a secret. I don't think I've ever gotten VCLT from him. So you are next level, my man. You are next level.
I didn't mean to start any controversy. I hope I haven't. I kind of hinted that I might do the unboxing on camera, and he didn't say anything. So I thought, okay, he's okay with it. He's okay with it.
Sure.
Let's see. One more quick thing to get us here. I want to make sure that we're all nice and cozy. Let me make one quick change.
I'm cozy. I'm warmed up. I got a nice lather going to me.
Ooh.
Ready to do it. Do it to it.
I love it. Okay, there we go. We're in the mix. So what's up, brother, man? How are things, dude?
Yo, I can't complain. I mean, if I was doing any better, Spinz, I'd be you. Let's just be honest. Listen, we talked offline. I'm gonna reveal some of the tea leaves. You told me you're going to be you're going to be streaming, I should say, every night during the weekdays, and then you're doing your Whatnot thing. Cheap plug, Whatnot on the weekends. I mean, first of all, I don't know how your cameras are going to be able to handle it. Your camera's got to be smoking at this point. But man, and then asked me to join one of these things. I was like, man,
absolutely.
And part of me felt honored, and the other part was like, how many other people did he ask before he asked me? Let's just not.
No. Hey, this is week 2. So I mean, we had Felipe last week. We got you this week.
Sure.
We'll get the boys on here as we move forward. But yeah, man. Dude, you're right here at the start of everything. So I appreciate you doing this, dude.
Hey, my pleasure.
I had to line people up because we're doing this weekly, so you can't mess around.
Well, there's a lot of listen, you know how it is. Show prep just doing it every other week, which is a concept that, for whatever reason, is still hard for the mentally challenged to comprehend what an A side and a B side. You would think records, right? Like A side, B side, but some folks just can't pick up what we're putting down. But the show prep, just for that alone, it can drag you down. But you're doing this every single night. So
it's a lot of work.
I'm tired watching. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just watching. I'm like, man, my man's got to be. He's got to be running.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, it's work, but we got to be here for the people. So it's all good, man. It's all good.
Some great people. Andy G is here. This is where I do the shout out. I see Jason Arsenal has he's come out from the wilderness of Canada is here.
Jason, what's up?
Here. My man, the Tiki Man, David Nelms is here. Wyoming Dave. I mean, this is.
People are here for the concert buddy, man. People are here for concert buddy.
I don't know about that. Are you doing a giveaway? I think there's probably a giveaway.
No giveaway. But people love the games, man. We're gonna have a game. We're gonna have a little chat, and You guys will have a little game. And by the way, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna shoot the link in the chat. And as after bottom of the hour, whatever we feel like, I'll shoot that link out. And Chance, we're gonna put you to the test, man. We're gonna do a little.
No.
That's right. Would you rather concert edition just for you?
Let's do it.
So that'll be fun. But first, let's get to know Chance a little bit, man. I know there's an interview on my channel. I want to keep this real casual. I don't want to sit here, and we could just, and a lot of this is just going to be some of the stuff that we're doing together. Either I'm curious about, or I know other people are. But one thing that might be interesting, I don't even think we talked about this last time, is surface noise. That's kind of the big deal, right? That's now a weekly programming. It went from going bi-weekly. We got the A side, B side, which I love that. I think it's such a great kind of way to kind of title it and keep track of it. But I want to know, like, how did that start for you? We've got people on in the mix, like Jason Rojas. We've got Arnaldo in there. Obviously, everybody knows these guys. Jose is in there. David is sometimes there and stuff. Did you know these guys from back in the day? How did you learn it? When you started, I wasn't there at the very beginning. So when you started Surface Noise, was that the plan, or like how did that all kind of come out?
Well, the one thing these guys had in common is they all owed me money, so that made it pretty easy.
That's one way to get it back.
Yeah. There's a lot of blackmail involved. No, the reality is, honestly, it felt like live streaming and like interactive, like live action interactivity with an audience is kind of the way a lot of this is going. I mean, no disrespect, people who literally put in the work and do the videos and show and tell and all that stuff. I mean, if you look at my channel lately, I've kind of like waned on that, not because I'm not getting records. I mean, I am, but I'm finding that I'm enjoying sharing that information or sharing those pickups or what have you during the live experience and engaging with people and a lot of familiar faces. Cesar's here, Mad Vinyl Peter's here, a lot of people who bring a lot of good information and bring a good collaboration, right? Because it's not just people on the screen, it's people who are watching too that make the show what it is. But no, honestly, it all kind of started because seeing where live stream was going, starting the podcast network and all that kind of stuff. Originally, it was going to be, I just wanted to like be the producer, so to speak. I just wanted to do the editing. I just wanted to, I was busy doing my own thing. I was getting content from the Jazz Bums and Robert Fithen was sending over some stuff at a time, and the early days of the Vinyl Community Podcast situation. And originally, I was just looking to put people together. So you need a quarterback, right? You need somebody at the dais. You need somebody who kind of passes the ball around,
a facilitator, so to speak.
Right. So that's often the hardest part. And so originally, people know him, Zep Pearl Vance. He's one of the OGs in the VC. He was somebody I reached out to. And I was looking at putting him and Jose, because I knew Jose just from interacting with him on different live streams and so forth. And we were kind of like forming it that way. So that was kind of taking root where I wasn't necessarily going to be involved on the camera, but just behind the scenes.
Oh, you weren't even going to be on camera. Okay.
No. And then the other piece of it was, and again, just knowing people through the community, getting to know people through the community. Arnaldo, who I met pretty much everybody through the morning show, right? Rachel's Ghost. And Arnaldo had kind of like sent me some back channel communication. He was interested in starting something up. He knew Jason Rojas, and it was just kind of a confluence of those two things, right? So I'm like, oh, here's some people who want to do live streaming, and then here's this other project I was trying to get off the ground in the live streaming format. So originally, when Surface Noise started, it was just, I was actually a placeholder. I was just like one to, how it is. You got to see people get along, and chemistry is important, all that stuff. And I was really only going to be the host for not too long, to be honest, until I found somebody better. And funny thing happened along the way is I actually enjoyed it, and I actually enjoyed getting together with the guys, getting to know the guys better, off camera and obviously on camera. And then obviously, you build your audience and you get to meet more people through the community and that sort of thing. And that's kind of how it was. And plus it was only every other week, so it wasn't like a big drain on what I had going on outside of the vinyl community and all that kind of stuff. And then other folks were kind of like in my ear talking about like, man, you should do this like weekly, like we want it weekly. And it's great, but I only have so much bandwidth, right? So that's when months ago, as you know, I solicited you. Solicited you when I was out west and pitched you the idea of like, hey, what do you think about A side, B side, and all that kind of stuff. And here we are. And again, I think you said it, and I agree with you. I think it's a real fun concept, and I think that me and you taking turns in the chair kind of mixes up the energy and kind of keeps it fresh. And you do things. You got such skill like with graphics, and you got the games and all that stuff. And then I have these bad sound effects. And, and other than that, Counselor Buddy brings nothing to the table. I see that one.
No. I think it was part of my intent was really to kind of differentiate so that, because first of all, I'm not you and we're different people. I mean, you guys wouldn't want me to come on there and just try to be a facsimile of Chance. And so it's like, can I come into the same format and kind of make it my own, which you were very gracious in letting me have that freedom. And that way it's a little different. The A side's kind of its thing, and I don't infringe on that. And the B side's kind of its thing. And so I thought that would obviously, you take it as, we're still the same guys. We're still talking records and all that. But just in terms of, they're just a little bit different to kind of keep it interesting, I thought would be cool. Because if you're going to go weekly, the last thing you need is for me to come on and just try to be a copycat of like what Chance is doing. We got, there's a comment interesting about, I know people have said like live streaming kind of has, and the comment was killed the VC. I don't know how I feel about that. And then even a comment saying they think of it as the 2.0 version.
Sure.
And I don't know, maybe that's true. I think what I've tried to do though, is take a lot of the things that work about pre-recorded kind of scripted stuff or whatever that people are coming on and doing, and kind of try to bring that to live streaming in the sense like last week, Brandon and I did a room tour live.
Yeah, it was great.
Try to like talk about records and different stuff and show you guys like new releases and everything. So stuff that you would normally see on a pre-recorded video, but do it in a way that gets people involved. And that's kind of been my big thing. And a lot of the reason I brought the games into like the B-side and stuff was because I really just wanted everyone to feel like they were part of the action, which you're going to be, by the way. We're going to do a game at the end of the half hour here. It's going to be super fun. But that was my kind of thing, is where can we get to the best of both worlds?
Yep.
Because, and I think a lot of people that aren't content creators don't, and not everyone puts the same level of work into their videos. That's not a criticism. It's just a lot of people turn their phone on and they just say, hey, here's the stuff I picked up, or these are my thoughts. And then they turn it off and they upload it. That's fine. I wasn't doing that. It was a lot of editing and, and B-roll and just different things. Like a lot, and because I enjoy that. I know to me, it was a much more production put into it. That's a ton of work.
Yes.
And you start thinking or asking yourself, can I bring that same value to a live show where, yeah, there's a lot of upfront work planning for these, to your point, like you said, but once it's out there, it's out there. I don't have to like slice it up and all that stuff. So,
I think it was actually to kind of piggyback on Tom High Rant District's comment about StreamYard killing the vinyl community. And I remember Tom's and Morton's man, so he's got a little salt, but there's a little truth in what he's saying, because I think it was Vinyl Richie is the first person in the community at large that kind of was talking about, and his quote, and I don't necessarily fully, I agree with it, but I don't agree with it. Vinyl Richie was saying that live streams are not the VC. So you have to keep in mind, Vinyl Richie's been around. He's one of the old dogs too, right? And what he does on his channel, he does really well with it. He did a video today where he's got like some Farrah Fawcett pose or some shit. But what he does is not necessarily what a lot of other people do. And you're right. Like I use the expression is the juice worth the squeeze? And doing all of the, especially when you're first starting the channel and you're like just figuring it out. Partly is the Bambi's leg stuff, but part of it is, like you said, you're investing a lot of time learning new skills. And then, you want to put like a good presentation. You want to have a good presentation value for what you're putting out there, right? And it is a lot of work. But at the same time, and this is kind of why I'm hanging my hat more on live streams now, is I want to keep it interesting, right? And sometimes, here's an example. Last week, A-side, we do the same thing. We send out the email at the beginning of the week. Who's going to be there? Get your roll call. Then you got some topics. Sometimes the folks, who are going to be on that week have some ideas too. Show's all set up, run a show. And then what happens? The record store day list gets leaked. Like literally that, I think it was that Thursday.
Last minute. Yep.
Literally that morning got leaked. It wasn't supposed to come out, I think, until the following week. Got leaked. Well, what do you got to do? It would be disingenuous to try to have a live stream that night and not talk about that. You know what I
Right.
mean? So then you got to be on your toes and pivot, and
You
it
got to
keeps it
pivot.
fresh.
Yep.
Yeah, right. So I think that's exciting. It's a pain in the ass because you already have a lot of the thumbnails and all the assets put together. But that's kind of the deal. Now the other part of it too, talking about videos. To be honest, trying to come up with new ideas that haven't been done yet, like good luck. There's so many people, especially in the vinyl community, air quotes, from the last 10 to 15 years, it's probably already been done.
Right.
And you can put your own spin on it. Yeah, you can do like I like doing the record store tours. That's one of the reasons I kind of started doing this. I used to go to record stores all over the country when I traveled for work, but I wasn't documenting any of that stuff. And I'd always be like, man, I wish people would do more of this. So I started doing it. And then who else started doing it? Everyone else.
Yep.
So at that point, you're like, okay, am I just another fish in a crowded sea, or how can I make this interesting? And I think when the time and the motivation comes, I'll make more videos, or I'll do more videos that are interesting to me.
Right.
But everyone's got their different motivations. Live streams though, like it keeps me on the hook, it keeps me engaged, it keeps me on my toes, it still keeps me learning new things. And I don't know. Again, is the vinyl community and live streaming two different things? I think Tom even said it 2.0, right? Like there's different evolutions to this, right? If you go back to look at old, I hate calling you out, Brandon, look at Brandon's old videos. It was just Brandon and his record collection. And he's even said it. He didn't care who was out there. He's just sharing with it. And then all of a sudden people would comment, oh, that's great. And it was kind of like a snowball effect. Well, this is live streaming. This is kind of the next level. I mean, there's not even just YouTube. There's Twitch. There's these Discords now. There's all these different type of connectivity levers that now can be rolled into the recipe, so to speak. So,
and they sort of each have their place, right? I think Cesar was making some good points. It's like, for me, it was really about the connection. And I'll be honest, it kind of started on Whatnot. Is that when I discovered that I could be engaging people in real time, and we could be having conversations about music and about records and all this, and there wasn't this lag of like being in the comment section, or a lot of people won't go through the trouble to maybe leave a comment in a video, but they'll come in chat and they'll hang out and talk, or so it's just kind of that live aspect of it. And even Brandon, Mr. Old School, now he and I are doing live streams, so even he is like, I think he sees the value and the fun in it, and you have to make it that way. Look, all of it is only as good as the creative person who's doing it. And you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, if you don't like live streams, maybe there was a problem with, the person that's conducting those streams. What I'm trying to kind of do our version of it again, which is kind of like a hybrid and just trying to bring the best of all worlds here. And I don't know, maybe that sounds like I'm not trying to make an excuse or whatever. Like, I get it, but it's up to all of us to kind of put our best foot forward and to really challenge ourselves to do good content. You said it yourself, like trying to come up with new ideas is almost impossible. And yet that's my life, is trying to do that, how do we do this fun that's different? I don't know anyone. And again, this is a pat on the back kind of, but it's like, who else was doing a live room tour with two different people showing their room?
I mean, hey, listen, tip of the cap. I told you when you pitched that idea, I'm like, that's great, because no one has done it, right? And Brandon had done room tours. He does one every year, and other people do room tours, but it
just goes to show that like you can do it. It just takes effort. I guess the point I'm trying to make is I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just don't want people to think that this is like trying to like self-admiration society. It shows that like if you put the work in, like you can come up with new things and make them fun for people. So anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
no, you're spot on. No, the room tour thing was great. When you told me that idea, I was like, man, selfishly, why didn't I think of that? You know what I mean? Like, because no one else has done it, and it's harder. There's the old expression, you can't put lipstick on a pig. Sometimes you can. You can put a nice dress up heels on a pig, and you can put a nice sweater on a pig, but it takes creativity, and it takes somebody willing to take those risks, right? And I'm sure the next person who does a live room tour will learn from that example. That's the idea, man. It's just like, learn from other people, make it better, make it yours, make it interesting. That's the name of the game.
Absolutely. It's funny because I think about it it's a double-edged sword in a way, because if you want to be successful out here, guys, if you want to be successful I'm going to give you the secret. You want to be successful on Instagram or YouTube, just do what successful people are already doing. You know, if I wanted to be a massive, I would go open a record store and just show you all the stuff that's coming out every week and show you all the big hauls that I was getting, the pickups and all the crazy expensive records or whatever. If I want to be on Instagram, you know, I would rinse and repeat. All you got to do is copy the people that are already successful. I'm not going to do that, you know, and it's like, it's hard to be sort of somewhat, you know, original or innovative or try to do something different because for two reasons. One is the algorithm's not going to like you. They don't know what to do with you. You know, whatever, who cares? You know, we'll grow organically. It'll take a long time. Fine. And the other thing is that, and maybe this is something that I'm seeing in the chat. I don't know, but like people like what they're used to. And I think when people are saying like, well, but yeah, the VC1 was this and VC2 is this, and I don't like live streams or whatever it is. It's like, you know, I don't know how much of that is like, you said like, well, how many times do you want to see a guy hold up Dark Side of the Moon again and say it's a great record? I don't know, you know, so it's like,
yeah.
But
well, here's a perfect example. All right. So Dylan Smith, Noble Records, when he started doing this, it's like we see it, think about doing ourselves, but then you need people to kind of like push you. And with him, it was like Matt Sands was like one of his people that he really liked how he did it, liked what he talked about, and kind of built off of that. But Dylan was just doing pop-ups. I think he still had his regular 9-to-5 job. So he was doing YouTube just as a way to meet and a way to share his, what we all have is we really enjoy the medium, we enjoy the format, we enjoy music, right? But even watch his evolution. Goes from selling records to pop-ups, then he's selling them out of the van, then he gets a brick and mortar, then he starts a label. You know, like people are going to evolve, right? Like I think some people, and I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this. I think some people just like things the way they like things. And I think if you think about record collectors stereotypically, old white guys really don't like change. So to come in and do games or do live streams or to do something different can definitely ruffle some feathers, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Right.
Billy Hurst, another friend of mine, good example. He was just a guy showing records, buying records. He was a musician, like sharing his life. He saw, again, Dylan Smith saw what Dylan did. He's like, yeah, like all of us kind of think about it. What would it be like to own a shop? Start a store. These guys went and did it, and it was it's like the baton thing, right? Because Billy told me he reached out to Dylan, and Dylan gave him some great advice and helped him get rolling some distributors and all this kind of stuff. So, long story long, these things are going to change. Evolution and change is the one constant in life, and I think that hopefully a lot of the audience stays with you and you continue to grow. And sometimes you lose. There's people, I was thinking about some people today that I haven't heard from in a long time, not just content creators, not just people in the vinyl community, but commenters, like regular commenters. I won't name them because, maybe they got stuff going on or whatnot, but like you get to know these people and, I don't know. I don't want to make it sound like poo poo, but your motivations change too, right? Like my motivation changed. Like when I started this, I was like a lot of people. I just wanted to like show some records and share some information. And this is true. You can go back and watch my horrible early videos. I just wanted to share information where I'm finding records, how I'm, packing records, whatever it was. Just sharing best practices was important to me. But then once I kind of shared a lot of the tricks in my toolkit, then I'm like, man, I don't want to give away all the store.
Right.
I'm creating competition in the marketplace from a like sourcing perspective, finding records.
Right.
But then also I got to know people. I got to collaborate with people, and I started doing live stream. Again, Rachel's Ghost. A lot of people talk about in the chat, polarizing or not. That was where a lot of people kind of crossed streams, as terrible as that sounds, and kind of learned of people, right? And so if it wasn't there, it was the Jazz Bums, like Felipe is here. Like those guys started about the same time I did.
Shout
and people meet, so people meet over there. So I don't know. I know people are detractors and don't like the live stream format, and it can set you up. And it can also be like, it can set you up because when you're talking about the recorded stuff, you can edit, you can control the way you present yourself. When you're live stream, I mean, you're flying without a net a lot of times. And I'm sure I know there's been times I've said stupid stuff. I know it. Yeah. There's times I said really stupid stuff. I know it. There's stuff I said, stuff I regretted. I know it. There's things I wish I hadn't said, but here we are. And, it's part of the experience. It's part of the
Exactly.
evolution, the progression, however you want to say it.
It's all part of it. Like you said before, it's when you're flying without a net, and it's just, it is what it is. And hopefully there's some value, like, just like we are now. We didn't plan to have this conversation. I mean, we're just having this conversation. You're just getting people's like free flowing thoughts here. So, I might have a different opinion tomorrow. I like how High Rant wants to know, what do I mean by successful? If you're on YouTube or Instagram, you're going to get paid by YouTube once you reach a certain amount of watch hours. The more watch time hours you get, the more money YouTube is going to float you. There's lots of different things that you can look forward to. Brand deals. People are going to ask you to review their products on your channel. You might do that or not. They're usually going to be paid, or they're going to give you product, which you can turn around and flip. For people that are reviewing records, oftentimes they receive those records for free. By the way, this isn't me throwing shade on any of that, but you want to know like what success means in this context. And I'm giving you that context as a content creator. This doesn't have anything to do with, your day job or owning a record store or whatever, selling on whatnot or any of that stuff. That's just the YouTube stuff. Instagram used to pay people big bucks for just creating stories. Just upload a reel, upload a story, and cha-ching. And they don't do that anymore. But there's money out there, and the people want to grow their channel so they can get more of it.
So can I piggyback on that? I'm going to piggyback on that a little bit. So yeah, I agree with you 200% on that's one definition of success. And frankly, I mean, I know people.
And I'm just, again, thank you. I'm just giving that context.
Oh yeah,
I'm not defining.
Right. I think success can be looked at a lot of different ways. I mean, let's look at it through the YouTube lens. You've got to hit those certain metrics to be able to become monetized. Well, like we were talking about, when you're doing these recorded videos and putting work in them and trying to come up with concepts and all that kind of stuff, eventually you do want, channel growth as a reward or success, or meeting people as success. And it really is. But it's also nice to get a little bit of that cookie back. You know what I mean? It's not like we're rolling in the big bucks with this stuff, but because YouTube is getting free content. Like this is a social contract. They're literally taking what we are creating and advertising, and they're not giving us a piece of that because they're advertising regardless. They're advertising and not giving you a piece until you hit their metrics, right?
People should understand that. Like when you see ads on people's videos, it doesn't mean that the creator's getting any money for that. They're just going to show ads on everything. So
yeah, and full transparency, like I didn't do this to make a couple $100 extra bucks a year. I mean, that's nothing. If I wanted to do that, I'd just sell more records. I'd go buy my records and flip them like I always have. But that it is a byproduct of it, right? And I'm not comparing my my tax returns with other creators, but it is something that at least is a little bit. Now you talk about brand deals. Here's another example. And people we know, we have differing opinions, some of us. But like with these brand deals, some people are going out and seeking them out. Great. That's what you want to do with your channel and create a brand. No power, no judgment. But then, like you said, sometimes these brands reach out to us. Vinyl Storage Solutions, I did an interview with them. And afterwards, they reach out to me and be like, hey, would you like to work out this kind of, deal with, affiliate deal, whatever they want to call it? Great. Why? I was already using the product. I was a fan of the product. So that presented itself. I've got it. Yeah. Spoiler alert. There's another one coming down the pipe that I didn't seek out. It kind of presented itself. And there have been ones that I'm sure you've got this too. There have been companies that have reached out and it's just not a fit. Like I don't feel comfortable endorsing a turntable I would never recommend to anybody I know. You know what I mean? Like there's those out there, and no judgment on people who have done those. That's just not for me.
It's all, people are going to have different feelings based on how it's presented. Sometimes it looks greedy or ugly or whatever, but when you're putting as much time into this stuff as we are, and you have nothing to show for it, financial, time is money. I would never ask somebody to go work for free. And anyone and again, this isn't me I'm not defending myself or getting, upset or anything, because I want to move on. We'll go get to another, but just to kind of put a cap on it is anybody that's doing brand deals, anybody that's getting paid by YouTube or Instagram, and anybody that's, whatever they're doing and making some money at it, they're smart. You know what I mean? It's like so many people are out here doing this stuff. Yeah, if it's a hobby for you, great. You know what? Go do your thing. You don't ever monetize, whatever. But I don't think that a person who doesn't monetize has any more virtue than a person that does. Go get something for your time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they're gonna, and stuff. It's a job to some people. I'm doing this every single day, as you know. This is my job, and I'm not getting hardly anything for it. So
And if
that's
you're
not a
going to do it
complaint,
anyway,
I'm just saying.
yeah, no, I get you. I mean to cut you off, but yeah, and plus, if you're going to do it anyway, if people are going to like pay you for it, YouTube, if people are going to send you things to try out, why not? Like
Right.
I like literally, I've got this thing I've been working on, and I kind of thought about it. I was like, well, I don't want people to think I'm a shill because I'm not. You know what I mean? Like these things present themselves to us often, and at the end of the day, like I had to get a lot of things kind of in writing. Like, can I be honest about what I'm going to say? All this kind of stuff. And the other piece of it too with these brand deals and Vinyl Storage Solutions, perfect example. After like we worked out kind of how that was going to go, I wanted to make sure I could save my audience money. Period.
Right.
That was
You're
the thing
adding
I asked
value, right, to the people that are watching. Exactly.
Right. Because they look at it as incentivizing a conversion of customer. I look at it as like, hey, my audience or people I've gotten to know, my friends, a lot of them are my friends, watch this stuff. If they're interested in checking something out or trying something for the first time, I'd like them to not have to pay full price, right? Like it's just a very simple concept.
Vinyl Storage Solutions, guys. Make sure you type in what is the code? Do Concert Buddy?
Oh, Concert Buddy, BUDDIE, or just VCP10.
There you
That's
go.
right.
Concert Buddy, BUDD. Go get some, save 10% or whatever it is, guys. Go shop at Meon Records. Go buy a 1x1 turntable, and everyone's happy. Okay. So the other thing I want to this is, and I want to go in a different direction. I didn't mean to go that far down this, but there's so much more to say, but it just, it's one of those subjects that goes sideways. Anthony says, I think the BC should do more go shopping at record shop lives, gives those who like to travel good ideas. Or I remember you saying some cool shops saying some cool shops in Chicago, and I visited one. That's cool. But by the way, before you get started, Concert Buddy, there might be a massive one coming your way. So be ready for that. And Chance, you know what I'm talking about, but let's not talk about it because it's not set in stone yet. Something going on at the end of the year that has never been done. Been done.
Yes.
Massive.
Well, talking about the hypothetical that may become a thetical, is that when it becomes real, it becomes a thetical? The challenge with that, though, is the logistics part of it. It's the technology part of it, right? You know what I mean? Like, and plus, like you said, it's never been done before. You got to try to be predictive about if something were to go wrong. Like, here's an example, right? Like if I went to anonymous, whatever record show, and people do this, and people are trying to like talk to people on the floor or whatever. It's loud. So then you have mics. It's, distracting. You've got to make sure that you're positioned, lighting, like all the things in the video, like presentation.
Don't say too much.
Well, no, I'm just saying like that was kind of
in general,
question, right?
Right.
But that's why it's never been done. Not to say it can't be done or won't be done, but that's probably why, that's probably a barrier to that piece. Plus the technology piece, you don't know it until you try it, honestly, because like you said, to jump, a lot of people do these things from their phones. When we do live streams, we're doing them from our laptop. Okay, well, how are you going to do on man on the street, literally live man on the street? You got to think about all the kind of technological pieces of that too. So, anywho,
absolutely, you're absolutely right. Fortunately, we have plenty of time to work it out.
And can I answer this one? Vinyl and Kicks 86. That is my new brand deal. You just picked me at OnlyFans. So if you'd like to see, me shirtless, you'd like to see me with this luscious dad bod. It's not a dad bod. It's a father figure eating a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Just listen to Madonna records. I will send you the link in the private chat. Thank you.
The question is the fig leaf a 12-inch or a 7-inch?
Is it cold outside? That would probably depends on how the room conditions are.
All right, guys. I just shared the link. That link right there is the link to the game that you're going to play with us. It's we jump in the crowd. If you guys have seen this before. I've done a couple of these. This will be the third one if memory serves. And this is going to be a little game of would you rather. And it's super fun. You guys get to answer questions. Two things that matter that are going to give you points is speed, but also you got to pick the majority vote. So you want to think a little bit about before you jump in. But if you think you know immediately, hit that button. There are leaderboards. So every time you we do a question, and there's 20 of them here, then you'll get to see where you're ranking on that list. So it's really fun. Use that link. I should have said this is very helpful if you have multiple screens, you know, tabs, kind of a deal. I know if you're on your phone and you're trying to say, it could be a pain in the butt. So I'll give you a minute to go grab an iPad or, you know, your laptop or whatever, your television, whatever, however you do this. I don't know. And we will get this a rolling.
Do I need to click this link, Spinz? Or
you're going to need to click that link as well, my friend. Yes.
All right.
You're gonna see nothing until I start this, but I think you enter your name and stuff. At least get that going, guys.
Oh, hey, it's got my picture. There's old bald guy on here. Is that my avatar?
Oh, see, there you go. Maybe you've done this before.
Well, I'm sorry. It's OnlyFans. My fault. I was looking at OnlyFans. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's not my OnlyFans link. Yeah, you don't have to have played this before. We're going to show the screen here. So those that are or aren't, whatever, you guys will be able to see what I'm talking about here. Crowd, boom. There it is. All right. So it's cool. This will be a little bit of Would You Rather. And this is going to be concert edition just for the concert buddy himself. Oops, you guys see that other link there? I better. Oh, great. Now we're going to get a bunch of hosts coming in. That was a bad idea. Start. Scan to join. Would you rather concert edition? Okay, now everyone should start seeing something on their screen, right?
Hang on, let me go back to wherever that was. Join. So my thing just says waiting for the host to start the game. And it won't let me join. Maybe I have to refresh.
What?
Hold on. Oh, here we go. I got it. It's probably because when I loaded the page at first. Okay, now I'm in the game. Okay, got it.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else having problems? Anyone else in the game? There was just one answer and it ended. So I don't know if we can restart this. I'll just go to the next round. But this will give you a flavor of what this is. Everyone click that link, get in the game. This is fun. Again, you're going to see leaderboards and stuff. You're going to want to see your name up there.
Yeah, man, we got no time for losers. Let's just be honest.
The first question was, would you rather have backstage patches to the Rolling Stones show or have front row tickets to a Beatles reunion? Concert buddy, give it to us verbally. What would you rather have?
I'd rather have the passes to the Stones show, to be honest.
Okay. Stones guy in the
well, I mean it's 50% Beatles, right? I'm sure Paul's a nice guy, but you get to go hang out with Ron Wood. You get to go hang out with Mick. You can dance. You can do a little jazz hands with Mick. Come on.
Exactly.
Take a scarf off of Keith Richards' corpse. Love it.
Oh, Felipe, it's coming. It's coming.
Exactly. Yeah, see, Felipe knows.
It's coming. We might see that here. So Felipe, get in on this. I'm giving you guys another. I'm just kind of vamping here for another few seconds. The in the chat, the website will say crowdparty.app. Click on that and get signed up, and we will rock and roll. Okay, let's go to the second question.
All right.
Soda Stereo is leading.
Oh, that's Cesar. I wonder who that is.
Cesar is good at this. All right. Would you rather see The Who in their prime or see Queen with Freddie Mercury still fronting the band?
I mean, I answered with Queen. I mean, I'd love to see Freddie. I mean, The Who is great and all, but I mean, Freddie is a one of one. Let's be honest.
Oh, that's true. Ooh, right there. The winner, Queen. Actually, that was very even. 4 people said The Who.
Oh, no. Who was it, Jason?
I didn't vote. Wasn't me.
Dad jokes. Sorry.
Okay. Guys, get in on this. I want to keep hyping this because it's fun. The more people that play, the more fun it is. You guys are going to see a leaderboard is going to be packed now. Here we go. Question 3 coming up, guys. Soda Stereo, Concert Buddy, Kicks 86, Felipe, and music in the house. All right. Would you rather, remember, speed matters, but you also want to be on the right side of the answer. Have a backseat passes to Pearl Jam, or would you rather have a backseat pass to Jimi Hendrix?
I mean, I answered Jimmy. Yeah, that's where I went. Yep.
Oh, Jimmy's all over it. Yeah, you can still see Pearl Jam, right? There's still a chance to actually get those backseat. Have you ever had backseat passes to Pearl Jam, Chance?
Not Pearl Jam. I've had backstage passes. I've hung out with the rock stars before. It's okay. It's something else. That's all I'll say.
All right, next up, let's see what the leaderboard says. Kicks 86 now in front. Felipe, concert
Oh,
buddy.
look at
Soda
Felipe
Stereo.
coming in clutch. Look at this.
He's clutch. Look at that. Taking it seriously. Would you rather meet your favorite artist backstage for 5 minutes of funk, but not see the show, or have a VIP seat at their concert? You want to see the show, and this is an epic show, your favorite band, or just 5 minutes with the artist backstage? There it is. 6 out of 10. 60% want to say have those VIPs.
Man, I went the opposite direction. If I could have 5 minutes with like my top,
who would it be?
Oh, that's a hard one. I don't have like an absolute, right? Like I've been wanting to see like David Gray. David Gray is one of my favorite musicians. He's actually touring now. And I'm sure the only way I could ever meet the guy is if I did like the VIP experience. But like, I don't know, man. If he was doing like a public performance or something, I'd probably go like at a record store. Sometimes, perfect example, like Mumford & Sons played a pop-up on Record Store a couple years ago at one of my locals. And getting to see those dudes like literally right in front of you, like in a record store, amazing. Like, so anyway,
yeah,
I like that kind of stuff.
That's cool. All right. Vinyl Kick says, rather see the show. Don't really care about meeting the musicians. I got you. It's all about the music. Kicks in the lead still. Anthony Felipe, concert buddy, coming up fourth.
Yeah, flipping.
Would you rather get a free concert t-shirt, or there you go, Felipe, free beer for a year?
You know what, Felipe went right for the liquor.
And consider this, that you only have access to this shirt at the show. This is a premium shirt. It's gonna, you got
that soft cotton. Yeah.
Just don't try to wash it. It's going to get all funky on you, but. So you got free beer for a year or get a free concert. Vinyl Kick says, I don't drink. Anthony says, I don't drink. Felipe said eBay later. Well, I'm trying to rule that out as much as possible. All right, let's just end the round, because I think somebody dropped off. Anthony says, beer will win. Got to take the shirt, says David Elms. Ooh, it's equal.
I went with the t-shirt because, I went to a Kid Rock show once a couple years ago. He did this tour where all the beers were $5. It was like part of the gimmick. It was ZZ Top was opening up for him. And I was like, hell, $5 beers? Like, I'm in. It was back when I had my drinking muscles. And, of course, when you get there, it's this Kid Rock branded beer, and it tastes like piss. I'm just going to be honest. So, but after about 7 or 8 of them, they all taste about the same.
Well, this would be about 2 beers for me anyway. That's about what I drink in a year. So I'll go for the t-shirt.
For about $40. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Kicks, Anthony, concert buddy, Soda Stereo, and Andy G at the top. Would you rather see a live show during the day or see a live show during the night? I know this is a very subjective, but what's better?
This is one of my favorite conversations to have with friends, because man, I hate a Sunday night concert, a Monday night concert. I love, that's why I like festivals, because you can catch these guys during the day and then you can go home.
Oh, so it's all about daytime for you.
For now, well, I mean, the older I get, to be honest with you, like a nice Thursday or a Friday or Saturday night, awesome. A Sunday or Monday night, like literally, like stab me with a knife. Like it is something I don't want to do.
What if you could teleport yourself home right after the show? Would that be different? Is it like getting out of the show, getting home late, all that stuff? Or is it just, you just don't like it at night?
Yeah, but all right, let's take the Sunday night example. Most people got to work the next day. Not everybody. I know we have a viewer here. It doesn't work at all, right? So if it's a matter of you've got to go late and then you've got to get up and face the Mondays, it's the worst. Even if you could be teleported, right?
I got
you.
You
could be teleported.
I got you. All right, Chance going for the day show. Of course, the popular answer was night shows.
Look at that.
So he's dropping to 5th. Felipe climbing the
falling apart.
Leaderboard.
Falling apart.
The top 3 are just locked in. Okay, would you rather have a personalized signed vinyl record? Personalized is the key word, or have VIP seats to your favorite band's show. So you want that signed, personalized record, vinyl record that you can frame and hang up on your wall and show it in all your YouTube videos. No, we'd rather have VIP seats to the favorite band. What do you say, concert buddy?
I did the VIP seats because the personalized records, I know eBay. Felipe had that answer to go to eBay. I mean, plus a lot of plus I don't know. I don't like the personalized. I don't know. It's not something that really wows me. It's a nice to have. It's not a need to have. But to be able to let's go back to the festival idea. When those people have VIP and they're on the stage, like if you're at Bonnaroo or Lollapalooza or something, I mean, come on. Like you're literally on the stage, even if you're on like the little mezzanine riser, like you're on the stage with Eminem or whoever, Lady Gaga, whoever. I mean, come on. That's
crazy.
Amazing.
That's crazy. All right. Next up, Anthony Kicks Soda Stereo. The top three, all duking it out. Where'd Felipe go? Would you rather go back in time to attend Woodstock 1969 or attend Woodstock 1999? Which Woodstock are you going to? By the way, David Gray played at a tiny bar in Minneapolis in the 90s. Nobody
saw
knew him.
that.
That's when I became a fan. He was terrific. That's awesome. Anthony Burke, the city's too hot, man. You got to see those shows at night. Vinyl and Kicks. I don't like large crowds, but I would choose a night show. And Vinyl and Kicks is also going to take that personalized record. Would you rather? People are going to go back to the 1969 Woodstock and catch Jimmy Jefferson Airplane, the Grateful Dead, the worst show ever.
Listen, drugs, nudity,
less violence. We know
less
that
violence, less fires. Yeah. It wasn't on a park. It wasn't on concrete. Remember, they like did it like an Air Force base or whatever. Like,
okay. Anthony Kicks and David in top. Concert Buddy is fourth. Sam Squatch now get on the board. Oh, this one has a timer, so we got to work fast. Meet Jimi Hendrix. Okay, would you rather meet Jimi Hendrix backstage or meet Kurt Cobain backstage? Both no longer with us. I think I just accidentally forgot to deselect timer on this one. So 3 seconds, 2, 1, act fast. Most people want to meet Jimi Hendrix. What'd you say?
I said Cobain just because I already did the Jimi Hendrix answer before. I was trying to balance out.
You got to balance it out.
Yeah.
Okay, there's your leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen. Sam Squatch now coming up. Would you rather, buddy, sit through a Ray Parker Jr. concert, my man, or sit through a Milli Vanilli concert? Either way, you win.
I mean, listen, I can never say Ray Parker. You ripped off my man Huey Lewis. I mean, the guy literally thieved. I wanted to do drug for the Ghostbusters song. So yeah, it's Robin Fab all day.
Oh, he's going Milli Vanilli. Most people Ray Parker. I'm with you guys. Ray Parker all the way.
Nah, I'm Team Huey all the way on this one.
All right. Anthony Kicks 86, Sam Squatch, David H, and Andy G. Really close. Okay, would you rather have backstage passes to Prince or backstage passes to MJ?
It depends. What time of life am I? Am I current day? Am I a child? Because it could go. Am I a child who knows things? Yes.
One MJ lover in the house. See, that's tough for me. I've seen Prince, and so
Wyoming Dave has got to be the Michael Jackson fan. Wyoming,
yeah, one MJ.
Is that
you gotta remember though, MJ was MJ back in the day, and it was hard to see Michael Jackson. I mean, anyway, I've seen Prince.
Listen, Prince was backstage playing basketball. I'm sure you saw the Chappelle show. Look, my man could hoop.
Absolutely,
he could hoop. He can make pancakes.
You ready to do this?
He wore game blouses, right? He wore some kind of, sometimes women's clothing, which whatever, no judgment. But then they had a lot of the hot babes back there. You're thinking of Apollonia, Sheena Easton, was her name Sheila E. was playing drum. You know what I mean? Like a much better, like if you want to see the spectacle that is rock and roll. Michael probably had like a Super Nintendo room or something like that, which is cool. And Macaulay Culkin and Bubbles. I'm down with
now. Let's not come on, dude. This is not the place to have those controversial discussions. I love my MJ. Okay, fair enough. Prince is amazing. Prince is absolutely the best concert I have ever seen is Prince. Okay, would you rather go back in time to see Britney Spears and Madonna kiss at the 2003 MTV VMAs, or would you rather see Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction at the 2004 Super Bowl? And I'm not trying to get, this isn't meant to be, but those are two imagine if you could say you were there, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. I went with Britney and Madonna because that was like if not the peak, Brittany, it was right on the other side of the mountain where she had peaked and was still in the peak.
I think she was still peaking for sure.
Yeah, but she hadn't shaved her head or had the umbrella.
The writing was on the wall, right?
Yeah, the writing was on the wall. That's correct. Yeah. And plus Madonna, Madonna was still, this is before Madonna was, sniffing glue or whatever, huffing. Her face was destroyed. I mean, this is what a time.
Wyoming Dave wants to see Madonna and Christina also.
Well, that was there too. That was the bonus because she kissed both of them. Madonna kissed both of them. So.
Oh, Christina Aguilera too. I missed that part. I didn't know because you only hear about the Britney thing, and Britney was interviewed after.
I think she kicked. Yeah, I think she kissed Christina after. Like everybody was so taken back by Madonna and Britney. Kissing, and then Madonna leaned over and kissed Christina as well.
Yeah, most people do want to see the Madonna and Christina, but we still got 4 people. Yeah, the wardrobe malfunction. I think I would say that's the one more people know about, but less exciting, I think, than the Madonna and Britney thing. Anthony, Kix, and Andy all at the top. David H, although, is threatening. Would you rather have Huey Lewis perform at your birthday party, Chance, or
that's a tough one.
Weird? I know. Hey, these are tailored just for you, baby. You got Huey Lewis or Weird Al.
I mean, this is literally splitting hairs, Spinz, and this. I picked Huey Lewis because that's my guy. That's my ride or die. But man, Weird Al would be this now. But I have a question: is it Weird Al today, or is it Mustache Al? Because Mustache Al was pretty untouchable.
Let's say Weird Al let's say this is like Weird Al maybe 15 years ago when he was still doing, he was selling out, I don't know if he still does, but
he still tours. Yeah.
He was hilarious during that period too, man. You got to see his Nardwuar interview. I think it's great. Okay, here we go. We're going to end it. For some reason, it's not ending on its own. Weird Al.
Wow.
Concert. That's why you're slipping in the standings because you're not getting the right answer here, guy.
Yeah. Well, I'm swimming against the current on this stuff, I think.
Okay. Next up, Kix Anthony Sasquatch have the leaderboard locked down.
Man, Kix is smoking it.
Oh, sorry. Timer on this one too. I must have forgot to click that button. Would you rather listen to a Grateful Dead live album of your choice for the rest of your life, or listen to Kiss Alive for the rest of your life?
So I know what you're going to answer, Spinz, but I could not do like Saint Stephen for the rest of my life. Like that song never ends. So I'm going to go with the Boys from New York.
Most people did. 7 people picked Kiss.
All right.
The other 4 have musical taste. All right. Here we go. Kix Anthony Sasquatch locking down that leaderboard. Andy G, though, and David H threatening. Okay, would you rather have attended Jimi Hendrix's Band of Gypsies? So this is the actual album, guys. You're there for the Band of Gypsies show, New Year's Eve, 1969 or whatever. Or attend Led Zeppelin's The Song Remains the Same album, the recording for that album. Which one's it going to be? Which I think was 1973 or something like that. I could be wrong on that day, but I think I'm close.
Yeah, I went Jimmy on this one. Nothing. I know Vance is gonna disown me if he sees this, but man, it's Jimmy.
Vinyl and Kix right there with you, saying Band of Gypsies gotta be. If I was voting, it would be Band of Gypsies all day long. Although I do love some Led Zeppelin.
Side note, not to derail this, but just the timing is interesting. You ever seen that Pawn Stars where the guy brought in the Jimi Hendrix guitar?
Yeah.
I literally watched it last night. I never seen it. We have company over, and I was requested to see it, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, of all things, Rick Harrison is still going to try to lowball somebody on a Jimi Hendrix guitar.
I got to make money. Right.
That was appraised that it could go $1 million, and he's still trying to haggle. I was like, wow, come on, dude.
It's funny to watch those shows back because sometimes what era those were filmed, because oftentimes they'll be like, for example, some guy brought in like the first issue of Spider-Man, which is like crazy now.
Amazing
after the
stories,
whole but you watch the episode is from like before the pandemic and stuff. The guy, I don't remember what it was, but it was just some crazy low number, and you just think like, oh my god, this guy was ready to let this thing go for like $5,000, or I'm just throwing a round number out, and now it's worth like 10 to 20 times more. It's crazy.
Well, that's funny you say that, because that guitar, right? So the expert comes in, says it could fetch $1 million at auction. So old Rick Harrison's like, I'll give you $500,000 for it. The guy's like, no, man, I want $750. And I think the closest Rick got was like the guy was putting in the case, started walking away, and Rick's like, I'll give you $6. Yeah. Now I think he probably would have done the deal at $650, but the guy's like, nah. Well, of course, that was like 2014, I think it was. The advantage of the internet, looked it up. He got 1.2 million for it. Now again, there's fees and stuff, but he was right. Guy was right.
Yep, that was right. Okay. Led Zeppelin people are looking. Oh wow, I thought Jimmy would have got more love there.
That's interesting.
Okay, so let's go to the next round. Anthony Sam Squatch Kicks, Andy G and Soda Stereo, top 5. Okay, another timer, guys. Sorry about that. Would you rather go to a show where Jim Morrison is arrested for indecent exposure and ends the show early, or are you going to go to a show where Morrissey walks off the stage after a flying object almost hits him?
Arnaldo. I went Jim Morrison. Arnaldo will probably never talk to me again.
Wow. A blowout.
Power of the donger.
Running the table, Jim Morrison. Okay. I mean, I would have picked Jim too. Okay, Anthony Sam Squatch Kicks, Andy Soda. Wow. This is a leaderboard's on lock. Would you rather see the Sex Pistols' first show, their very first show, be there for punk history, or see Nirvana's first show and be there for the end of awesome music as we know it?
I mean, obviously I'm going to see a Nirvana show, except they didn't have like Dave behind the kit yet. They still had, gosh, they had what, 5 drummers before Dave?
Oh, that's right. That's right. All right. So a couple more seconds. Would you rather see the Sex Pistols' first live show or see Nirvana's first live show? And let's see the answers. 8 said Nirvana, 3 said Sex Pistols. Okay.
There we go. Way to go, buddies.
Throwing some love at Nirvana. There's your leaderboard. I don't even need to repeat it. Your superstars. Oh, we got a timer again, guys. Would you rather get beat up by Henry Rollins or Iggy Pop? Who do you want to get beat up by? You're at a show. You got to take some. Hands are going to be thrown. You're just in the line of fire. Is it Henry Rollins or Iggy Pop? Boom. People would rather take a knuckle sandwich from Henry Rollins.
I need a big, juicy knuckle sandwich. I mean, Iggy Pop's got no shirt on. The guy weighs 88 pounds. Like, I could never look my buddies in the face telling them Iggy Pop beat me up. I mean, come on.
Iggy popped you.
Yeah, Iggy popped me. And then I might as well just go walk into the ocean after that.
Woo. Anthony says you're overthinking a chance.
I probably am.
Pistols
overrated. I think Anthony's right on that
one. Henry Rollins back in the day, it looks like he would do some damage. I know, dude. He looks like he could do some damage now.
Dude, he used to be yoked up, man. He used to have that Bruce Banner look.
And he didn't take any mess either. All right. Would you rather see The Cure in their prime or see Depeche Mode?
This is a Spinz question if I've ever seen one.
I had to get it in there.
That's all right.
I saw them both in their prime. No big deal. No big deal. Not trying to flex.
That's a flex. It's a good flex.
The Cure or Depeche Mode? Love Depeche Mode, but The Cure easily for Vinyl and Kicks. Hardest question to answer. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, The Cure. Good choice, guys.
That's right.
I would agree. All right. Wow, last question as we wrap this up. There's your leaderboard, guys. D.
All I know is I'm ahead of Cesar, so take that, Cesar.
I wonder if I can get more names on there. Usually more show up. Let me try to. I don't know if I can do something to. Okay, this is a timer, guys. Sorry, gotta hurry. Would you rather spend an entire show in a VIP section with a perfect view, but with the most annoying fans around you, or spend an entire concert in the pit getting smashed and elbowed and kicked by the crowd?
I've done both of those, and they both suck.
I'm trying to get this so I can show you the whole leaderboard. Maybe that'll show. Okay, here we go. 8 people said they'd rather be caught in the pit. And here is your leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen, with your winner of Would You Rather Concert Edition. Anthony, there's your top 10, folks. Kicks 86. a close second place.
Andy coming in. Sam Squatch. I haven't seen Sam Squatch here in a minute. Good to see
Sam
him.
Squatch coming in. Andy G. Soda Stereo. Very respectable. D. Concert Buddy at 7. David H. David Nelms and Felipe. Everyone.
Felipe, did you quit answering questions? What happened?
Oh, there's 11, 12, and 13. OJC's North Jason and
Greg is
music
here.
in
Good to see
the
Greg.
house. Guys, that was fun. Leave a comment if you think that's fun, because I think it's fun. I think you guys have fun, but you tell me.
I liked it.
Oh, got to fix the camera. It just would not be a Spinz Vinyl Show if we didn't have to mess with the camera.
All right, everybody drink. Bottoms up. Spin's got to refresh his
Take
camera.
a drink. Take a drink.
Take a drink.
Woo! Chance, that was fun, man. Thanks for being here, dude.
No, that was a good one. I liked it.
Anything else any parting words you want to leave us with?
The only thing I want to say is, so when I saw you talking VCLT, and I'll probably talk about it again this week on the A side, but I'm sure if you've been in the vinyl community, you know DJ Trish, one of the nicest ladies out there. And Brandon is the first time I ever heard the name DJ Trish, because she sends him stuff. And so I finally crossed this off of my vinyl community bingo card. DJ Trish reached out to me and wanted to send me VCLT. And this is a historic event. I don't have the historic music.
All right, hold on. Got to get you blown up.
I mean, no, but it's so sweet. She sent some mixed CDs. I haven't listened to these yet because I got to listen to them in the car. That's where my CD player is, right until I hook my other one back up. Sent me some sticker love. I mean, she's from New Jersey. I think that's not a mystery. I don't know if Bob Marley sticker. I mean, what a nice. And then, hey, I'm all about the branding. So shout out Trish.
That's cool.
There you go, DJ Trish. Book her for your parties. No idea what this means, but okay. Some stickers, some more stickers, and then a nice little note. But anyway, that's what VCLT is. That's when it's awesome, and when it's unexpected and it's thoughtful, and it's just people being nice to each other. It's not about making a video to tell people you sent somebody VCLT, as I've seen before. It's just like people sending things to people just to be nice.
Yeah, it's a great point. I felt weird even doing it because it feels weird both ways. Like saying like, "Oh, I sent out VCLT," or saying, "Hey, I received VCLT." I don't know.
In fairness, the people who have been kind enough to send it to me, and Steve Carlson sends it to me regularly. Like we send it back and forth. I do a horrible job of making a video and acknowledging it, because if people, I'm first of all, I'm the world's worst gift receiver. I love giving gifts. I love sending stuff to people. I don't hate it, but I'm just terrible about feeling comfortable accepting gifts. And right. Steve has sent me stuff. Steve Guerrero, Vinyl Chef Steve, he sent me some VCLT. Joe Marino, and I'm not naming these people because I'm a humble brand. I'm just like, these people are nice enough to send me things, and I hopefully shouted them back out at some point. Again, the beauty of the live stream is, I need to shout out. Somebody sent me a record, Kendall. I've talked about him on the channel. Spin Doctor and Vinyl Mayhem has sent me stuff before. So I probably could do a better job of video form acknowledging that. But like DJ Trish, I mean, I've known of her for years, and then kindness is being what it is. She just decided to send me that nice little thing. It was very nice.
Well, it's like we you see a lot of people shouting out the bad in the world, when this sucks or that sucks and this, that. It's great to be able to shout out the people, or that there are still people out there. I've received, records from you. I've just received records from Chris, Brandon. And so it's like, it's good I'm all about calling out kindness in the world, man.
Sure.
I don't think it's cheesy. I think there needs to be more of it. That's all it is when it's coming from me. It's not like, any other, there's no motive.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. There's no motive. It's just like, let's just keep this friendly. Let's just keep this high positive energy, man. That's what I'm all about. So Concert Buddy, dude, thank you for being here on the second.
Thank you for having me.
Into the second one.
Arguably the greatest audience we've ever had. I see some familiar faces again. Shouted you out already. I saw A.A. Ryan. A.A. Ryan is a great.
Love A.A. Ryan. I appreciate you being here, A.A.
On the show. Music in the house. We got some
Anthony
good people
Burke,
here.
thank you.
All the time.
Felipe, Cesar's Old Faithful, man. He's all there's something, if If you can't not show up now,
Yes,
Cesar,
Cesar's right. Cesar's right. He sent me Soda Stereo. I know it's gonna be hard to believe, but he sent me VCLT of Soda Stereo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yes, and it was fun. I never heard them before, and so that was very nice. Sent me a reissue, enjoyed it, and it's in my collection.
Nice. David Nelms, Wyoming Dave, Andy G, Music in the House. I'm sorry if I didn't get to you. I'm trying to find everybody in the chat. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. The good news is we are back tomorrow. That's why it's so fun doing this daily.
No, this guy is back tomorrow. I am.
I will be back.
Yeah, you will be back. I'll be sitting my happy ass elsewhere. Yes.
All right, you guys. See you next time. Have a great night. Concert Buddy, have a great night. Thanks again. We'll see everyone. I will see you tomorrow.